blessing and honor to have Pujya Swami Dayanandaji Maharaj here with us today. He is one of the most renowned, beloved teachers, philosophers, thinkers, writers, and spiritual masters of this country. Many of you may be familiar with an almost artificial boundaries and borders between paths that people tend to draw when they talk about path of devotion and bhakti yoga, path of service, karma yoga, and path of knowledge, jnana yoga. Pujya Swami Dayanandaji Maharaj is one of the absolute greatest thinkers and philosophers in the Vedanta tradition, which would make many people classify him as a yogi, a master of the Jnana Yoga path. And he is that, of course, but he's much more than that, because the light that shines from his eyes, from his presence, and the touch that comes from his words is much more than simple wisdom. It's love. And the service that flows forth from his hands for all of those who gather in front of him, as well as for so many across the country, is a service of true dedication, commitment, and a service that comes out of not just wisdom, but deep, deep love. Pujya Swami Dayanandaji Maharaj has been teaching across the world for the last 40 years. His physical health at the moment is fragile, and despite doctors suggesting to him that he not travel, nonetheless, that great love that he has for humanity, for the truth, for the teachings, and for sharing those teachings has brought him here today. So without taking any more time, it is a truly unprecedented blessing and honor to have him here with us. Pujya Swami Dayanandaji Maharaj.
The divine inspiring discourse. Divine discourse must be inspiring. And inspiring discourse must be divine, I suppose. Thank you, Sadhuji. Thank you, Swamiji, for inviting me. So, there is a definition of yoga, a different kind of definition. It's very authentic, coming as it does from the Bhagavad Gita. And the words are defining words. Dukkha samyoga viyogaha yoga samjnitam. Tam vidyat dukkha samyoga viyoga yoga samjnitam. In Sanskrit, as these compounds, beautiful compounds, as one writes Sanskrit, creates compounds and writes. That's why Sanskrit is not available for any dictionary. Each one creates compounds, new words. Here is a very beautiful compound. Tam vidyat. May one understand that to be yoga, yoga samjnitam. What is known as yoga? Dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga samjitam vidyat. Dukkhena samyogaha, dukkha samyogaha. Association with anything that causes you pain. Dukkha samyoga. Then some yogat viyogaha. Yoga is taken here in the sense of yojanam, association, joining. Yoga has got another sense also, nirodhane. Nirodhane. That is some kind of a control, mastery. So, in that sense, the word yoga is used. Then this yojane, in joining, here he uses the word in the sense of joining, associating. Dukkha samyogat viyogaha. Viyoga is dissociation. Yoga, then association. Dukkha samyoga. Samyoga is association. Dukkha samyogat viyogaha. Dissociation from your association with things that cause you dukkha. Good definition, very inspiring definition. Dukkha samyogat viyogaha yogaha. Your dissociation from associating yourself with causes you dukkha, pain. There is emotional pain. There is physical pain. Anything that causes you physical pain, viyoga. Anything that causes pain to others, from that also viyoga. Dharma comes into the picture. Anything that causes you emotional pain, and from that also viyoga. I can dwell upon all these three, but I would like to spend this time discussing this emotional pain. Nobody can bypass one's psychology. Bypassing psychological situations is itself a psychological problem. It's a denial of problems. In our Shastra, in our tradition, the spiritual pursuit, religious pursuit, and psychological, this dealing with the psychological situations, all of them are together. They are inseparable. You take the whole Bhagavad Gita, there is the discussion about the reality. Reality doesn't imply any doing. It implies only knowing. You don't create infinity, you don't become whole, full. You are. So that's a discussion of reality. And that is knowing. That doesn't imply any form of becoming. While that is so, you find in the Bhagavad Gita there is so much discussion about anger, about desire, about values, about attitudes. That means there is so much importance given to our emotional life. We can be better off if we are totally objective. When you have objectivity, you avoid dukkha. Honestly. Subjectivity is psychology. And the more objective you are, the more you are in touch with what is. In our vision, what is not the world. What is Ishvara. What is God for us. God is not sitting somewhere in heaven and looking down upon you. All that is here is Ishvara. It's a big topic. And therefore, the more you are objective, the more you are in harmony with what is. That is why when you are able to discover an alignment, a harmony with what is to be done, when it is done, without any inside, some kind of, without frustration, there is certain satisfaction, there is certain joy. That's a time where is viyoga of dukkha samyoga. When you are able to do what is to be done. In the Gita, there is a sentence, Bhakhyan sparshan bahih kritva.